If you are under the age of 18 and you are watching this video, please stop now. This content is not intended for you. Hey everybody, it's Tmika. I am back with the second project in the Garage Chronicles. If you guys haven't checked out the intro or the first project, I will put that link down below in the description box, or maybe it's a playlist. So we're going to work on this collection kit, and so, you know, just like a little refresher, I don't have these pages that's in the 6x6 paper pad, mostly like ephemera and stuff like that. And I have this. Oh wait, this is yeah, this is Heaven Sent. It's just different color cover. And these are like little morsels from the Heaven Sent paper. And then we have the morsels from this, the bits and baubles. All right, so I decided I also have some brads and this that was in this little kit. So the way that I figure out, since I don't have a lot of like individual paper to do a mini album, I'm gonna do a mini album. This again will be for sale if you want it. So I'm gonna do a mini album, and I figure I'll do a long one so I can fit 2 small photos on the page instead of doing like a 6x6 or, you know, 4x6. I can skimp out more paper, I think, this way. And use these 6x6 pads. So I'm gonna make a long mini album, and the mini album is gonna be 4x7, the base, and then the covers, of course, will be a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna start out with the chipboard. All right, so I'm using some heavyweight chipboard, and I'm going to cut this down. This is a 12x12. I get these from Amazon. They're very, very sturdy. So I want my photos to be, I should have pre-planned this. I want my photos to be 3.5 approximately by 4. So my covers needs to be, so my paper is going to be 4.25. So we'll cut this at 4.5. Yeah, we'll cut this down to 4.5, 2 pieces. And then my spine will be pretty narrow. So I'm going to do, should we do a 2-inch spine? Yeah, let's do a 2-inch spine. I got that wrong. Let's see. Hopefully I don't need that much. 2 inches by 7.5, I think. Yeah, because I made that 4.5. So 7.5. All right, so we have the covers. They're 4.5 by 7.5. So the paper, the book itself, will be 4.25 by 7.25, and then that would make the paper that I can put on there 4x4. Yeah, 4. Yeah. Okay, we'll figure that out in a second. All right, so I have my Neenah white card stock. I just hauled this in a video not too long ago, and I got this from Amazon. It's like 200, 300 sheets, 250, 300 sheets, something like that. And it's bright white. Okay. Then I'm going to connect these 2 pieces together. You guys have seen this done, I'm pretty sure, lots and lots of times. Let me make sure I went down far enough. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to connect these 2 pieces together so that it'll be long enough to be to cover the chipboard. All right, you guys have seen this wrap, I'm sure. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this together. All right, so my cover is complete and it just looks super cute. I love this bright white paper. It's going to be a really cute mini album. That's what I have in my head. So now we're just going to make the flanges that go in the between here. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I'm using the flange method that was introduced to us by Laura at Following the Paper Trail years ago. And this is the one I've used for my mini albums all the time. You basically just cut paper down to the length by 3 7/8, then the length by 3 1/8, and then the length by 2 3/8, and you score at 1 inch on each side. Now that'll make 6 different slots where you can make 6 different flanges, but I only needed 4, so I only cut the 2 middle ones. I only cut the 3 7/8. No, I cut the middle, the last 2, which is the 3 1/8 and 2 3/8, and then I scored those on the long end at 1 inch on each side. But I'll find her binding methods. You guys can know what I'm talking about. I've done it so many times on my channel, so you probably already know. But for those new people, I will put it down below. It's my favorite, and it's the only pretty much 80% of the binding methods that I use for my mini album. Sometimes I'll use a ring, sometimes I'll use other random things, but this is what I use most of the time. So check the description box for that. And you just want to fold over on those score marks. Alright, before I add the flanges to the center of the book, otherwise known as the spine, I want to go ahead and give those a good crease with my bone folder, and then I want to make sure that they fit appropriately in the middle of the book, or the spine, with no hangover. But I want to go ahead and cut some paper to put under this. Since everything is all white, I want to add a little color to it. So I selected this brown paper to put on the inside, and now I'm just taking off the backing and laying down the flanges and giving them a nice little crease, and we are done. So it's time to make the long papers, and the papers are, the length are 4 by 7. So I just cut a sheet of cardstock down to 8 by 7 and scored it in half. So once I realize that they fit on there fine, I create 4 in total, and I'm just going to add double-sided tape to seal that envelope onto that flange, just in the front, the back, all around, and make sure that that's nice and sturdy. Alright, here is just where I'm showing you some of the papers that I'm starting out with, trying to kind of separate things and get things together so I can cut up these pieces for the mini album fronts. Alright, now I have cut down all of my papers so that I can cover the front of the pages. Why did I drag that out? Sorry. I cut out all the fronts of my papers so that I can layer them on the pages. I just have a little bit of a border. You guys know I love doing that. But what I did was on the back of the pages, when you flip them over and on the back side, they're all laid down flat on all 4 sides, those turquoise pieces. But on the front, I have them only layered on 3 sides so that I can have a tag stick out the top. So we can have extra room for more storage of photos and journaling. Then I took all of the pieces, the unique pieces from the 6x6 paper pad, and I cut them down to 4 by 3.5 so that I can get a variety of colors. This piece doesn't even belong to the thing, but it matches, so I added it in there. But that's what I did. I cut up all of the pieces, and I had to have 16 4 by 3.5 pieces to make the photo album work. So once that was done, what I needed to do was go ahead and lay them out so that I can make sure that I'm gluing the right sides to the right side so nothing touches together that kind of don't match. Just put it the way that I want it to flow in the mini album. So that's how I'm placing the face-up parts here. So the only thing left to do now is to glue on all of the papers, and this is what I was telling you, where I glued down the backs all the way around on all 4 sides, and then I used double-sided tape on 3 sides and just glued down the left, the right, and the bottom so that I can leave my space for the pocket for the tag to go into. Here I am just strategically placing those little paper or those little photo mats on the book so that they just kind of run fluently, like I was saying earlier. So I didn't like how that design was upside down, like the little cute little animals were upside down, so I had to cut it and make sure I get one that's right side up. It just would have bothered me the entire time. So I just placed those with some ATG tape. So I cut down a little piece of white cardstock that would fit in the pockets at the top of those pages, and I added some cardstock to the front so they can use the back for journaling and front for photos, or journal for both. And I wedged those in between the four pages, just like that. So now I'm fussy cutting some of these cute little images out the paper to hold journaling cards and tags in the front and back of the album. I ended up cutting 2 for the front and 2 for the back to hold those cards in place and to add something cute to the book. Really, really cute. Once that was done, I went back through the book with my stickers that I had available to add just milestones to the mini album. So I added some dimension on the side of the sticker so that there's room left for a photo to slide in or under. And I did that too until all of the milestones were complete, and then for the rest of them I just started adding like the sentiment stickers to add something extra to the page. And I still added the foam dots so they can stick up from the page and away, so they can still be there. So I wanted to add my closure piece before I finish my cover, so I just folded over some paper to fit the front and back of the mini album. I'm going to end up gluing the back down tight and velcroing the front, but I wanted to add a little bit of pattern paper to the front and back of this piece, or this closure piece. And then I added some of the stickers that I was thinking about adding to the cover to some cardstock, and to make them a little bit more sturdier. And then I fussy cut around all of those. I ended up not using that suite for the cover, but I did use the other 2 pieces, and you'll see that here in a second. I cut another piece of cardstock down to match the dimensions of the front and back covers, and I stitched a zigzag stitch around the edges to add just a little bit of extra, because I know that my cover was not going to be just outright outrageous, so I wanted it to be simple. So I wanted to add that simple zigzag stitch around the edge. And here you can see I've added that dreamer, hot air balloon dreamer, to the front of that tab that's going to end up being the closure piece. And I'm adding some Velcro dots from the Dollar Tree on the back side. I ended up taking those off and adding paper, design paper, to the front as well, but still the same. I added the 2 Velcro dots on that, and then I used that as my closure piece for the cover. And I just added that little hello to the front of the Dreamer tag with a little pop dot and some hot glue that kind of floats off to the sides. But I absolutely love the simplicity of the cover. And for the cover, I literally just laid down a bunch of the strips that I had left off over to the side and put them in like a pattern, a quilting type pattern, Mod Podge type of crazy way. And this is me layering it down so I can see what I want it to look like, so I can take it off and hot glue it off to the side. Ideally, I would have liked to stitch all of these little tabs, but I quickly changed my mind on that. Hot glue was fine. Ended up turning out really, really cute. So that's what I'm doing here, just strategically placing my colors how I want it, the thickness, the length, all of that. See how cute that is? And I am layering it so that I can take the whole cover off, the whole stitch panel off, and glue them down, and then apply it back to the mini album with some hot glue. So after I was done with the mini album, I looked over to my pile to see what I had left, and I had a bunch of life-size chunks of paper left. So I decided to fill those up with making some cards. So along with this mini album will be a card box with varying sizes of cards in them. So I started out with some decorative cards with those little 4x4 pieces that come in the collection, and I used a Martha Stewart punch to create a pretty little floral edge to the bottom, and I cut these cards down and some cardstock down. They all have different sizes, like 3x4, 3x3, 4x3. They're different size cards depending on the chunks of paper that I had left, but they all are super adorable, and these have that cute little fancy edge at the bottom. And I added some flat back pearls to all of the cards. The cards on this section that were blank, I think maybe most of the sections, I added stickers too. So I added some foam dots, and then I added a coordinating type of sticker to the front so that they can be given away as birthday cards, new baby cards, baby shower cards, that kind of thing. So I did that to all of those 4, and then the remaining card sets that you'll see. I forget how many cards I have, but I'll count them up at the end. But I do have a lot of cards left with the remnants of this paper. For the next batch of cards, I decided to do the same thing that I did with the mini album cover, and I cut up some of the 6x6 paper pads into 1/2-inch strips. So I ended up doing this a lot. I think I was watching a live or doing something where, or video, and I just got to cut it. I'm like, oh, I made too many strips. I really only had to make a set of 4 cards, but I ended up making a lot of strips. So I ended up finishing up all of the white cards with those strips. All right, now it's time to make a box for these cards. I was going to stick them in a plastic bag, but I decided since I had some extra little chunks of paper, I can go ahead and make a box. You guys have seen me do this little template hundreds of times, not hundreds, a few times, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to make a box. I've already got my measurements out. I need my box to be 4.5 inches square for the base and then 2 inches tall. So I'm going to make a box and a lid with those measurements and cover it up with some of the chunks of leftover paper that I have. Alright guys, so I just finished merging the videos together, so I had to stop and start over the course of a couple days, so that video is like, length is like 1 hour and 50 minutes, so hopefully I can get it down to some substantial size. This is what I have left, this full sticker sheet, these few stickers left from this sticker, and then this sticker sheet, and all these little bits. So this is all that I have left. I am so happy and proud of myself for dismantling this project. I really am happy with what I did. So the only thing that I'm keeping, and I'm okay with that, is this pad. It's universal. It's all the letters are there. I can use it for another type of project, and I'm okay with tossing these stickers and the rest of these little bits. So let's wrap this video up and let me show you what I made. Okay guys, so we made this box, which I think was super cute, and you saw me piece together this bottom half. I needed this to be a full sheet, but we made it work with the little seam strip there, and we created the box based on the measurements of all of the cards. It's layered. I mean, I got those little bits together. So the inside of the box has paper in it as well. So we made a ton of cards. So this is what I'm showing you here. I don't know the size. They started out as 3x3, but I cut them down depending on how the strips went. So I just popped up the sticker and then added some pearls on here. And then here's this one. They all are pretty much, I mean, the same. I just cut down 1/2-inch strips and laid them on top. Really cute. And then added the little pearls to the top of that to make some really cute little little cards. And then the next size we have is this one. I thought were adorable as well. And then I used a punch at the bottom with the sticker that's popped up on dimensionals to just add a little bit of fancy to it. So those are like, I think these are like 4 by 4.5 or something like that. I don't know. Here's some journaling cards. These are like harder chipboard based cards. Well, they're the back of the book. So they are 2 of each of this design, and I just literally just added them to cardstock, and then I have little pearls on the top. And then the last set I rounded the corners. I don't know if I can't remember if I did that on camera or not, but, and then again with the pieces. I just cut so many pieces. I was just cutting pieces and I'm like, oh shoot, I cut too many for what I wanted, but it worked out because I had the stickers to make it work. So, and I just put these in this box with a little bit of pretty tissue paper and then put my lid on. Make sure the tissue paper's tucked in. Nice and snug. Really cute box. And then we have the mini album, which I think is so adorable. Went back and added a layer of stitching. I did the stitching on the front and layered the same thing that I did the cards. I have Hello Dreamer here on a little, just a little tab to open the book with Velcro. And that's the side panel. I really like this paper. And I went back and, like I said, I don't know if I recorded it or not, but I went back and stitched the back panel. And then added this little love here. Super cute. So, yeah, really adorable. Just open that up. And then on the inside, I fussy cut the little bears. And then I added the journaling spots. And they're plain on the back so the recipient can write stuff on the back, add photos or what have you. And then this is a place for photo. I added the pop dots on the side here so that the photo can go in inside. Add the pop dots on the sides so the photo can, you know, have a place to like lift up under there. And then all of the pockets have a long little piece. You can either add a couple photos here on the front, back, some journaling or what have you on this. And then that just slides. I was going to add like a little, of course I can't do it because I'm upside down. I was going to add like a little tab punch, but that would have taken away from the photo that's at the top. So I left it sticking out. So that's how that is. And then this photo has places for 16 photos, 3 by, this is 4 by, I don't know, 4 by something. 4 by 3.5 by 4. So this is 4 by 7. So yeah. So really cute places to put photos, and I wanted it to have all the, well, I didn't have a choice, but I wanted to, either if I did have a choice, I think it looks cute to have the different photo backgrounds on, so they can leave this plain, leave that plain and put photos there. I thought that was adorable. I mean, I just love how that was strategically placed. Really cute. And then here's the end of these cute little bunnies that I fussy cut and did the same thing that I did to the front. So I think these are so adorable. I think the book came out super cute, and so did the cards. I think they both are lovely little gifts. So if you're interested in these, the information will be down below in the description box. So that concludes the Garage Chronicles Season 1 episode number 2. If you haven't checked out episode number 1, I will leave that down below in the description box. All right, I will see you guys next time. Like this video if you like it. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the Scrap family. And let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.